So it's Sam here from the Magic with Gadgets podcast, and I'm back with another number one thing. My number one thing today is my Ninja Foodi, and I'm kind of saying this across different Ninja Foodies because we've all got different numbers. By numbers, I mean what level we've got for how many functions. For example, that side is the 15-in-1, that's the 9-in-1, which basically means that's got 9 functions. That's an expensive one that's got 15. And my number one thing today that I wanted to talk to you about was the state of the cooking pot. You know, normally you don't want to share how dirty it is or whatever, but I'm talking about scratches here because I'd say the number one thing is I get asked, should you get a Ninja Foodi or should you get an Instant Pot? And I've had Instant Pots a lot longer than I've had Ninja Foodies. And the number one thing I have found is the Ninja Foodi cooking pots scratch so easily. I mean, I've had a food stylist that has literally just done it for styling. She's been very careful with it and it is so scratched. And then mine's really scratched. This one I'm going to show you, I got it in 2019, so it's quite old, so it's had a lot of use. But my point being is how scratched they are. So if you're trying to decide between an Instant Pot and a Ninja Foodi, know that this is the biggest flaw that they have, is their cooking pots don't last as long. But it's never stopped it from food going to pressure. It just doesn't look very nice, you know. And it's like every now and again, if it goes up in the video, oh, you've scratched your pots, you know. There's lots of trolling that goes with it as well and stuff. But I just wanted to point out that, you know, it can vary between cooking pots. The Instant Pot had it longer and I can make it look amazing. Yeah, it looks amazing. You can put some bicarb in it and some lemon juice. It'll shine up perfectly. But these Ninja cooking pots are like that. And a lot of people that have had both are often saying, I would choose Instant Pot because of that. And Instant Pot also does ones with air fryers now as well. But I just thought you'd be aware of that. But I do think of that as a budget one because it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that one has. So it is much cheaper and it does the main things like pressure cooking, air frying, slow cooking, dehydrating, saute and whatnot. And, you know, even though I kind of like the steam air fry and ones like that, I don't really use them as much as I do just straight air fry, or how you can go from pressure cook to air fryer. So I think that's worth bearing in mind as well. So it'll be really, really interesting when you see this, compare, and you see just how bad the inside of this one looks. Because if I was going to say one thing to a newbie, I would be saying use silicone, use wooden spoons, which we always do, but it'll still scratch. So, you know, just bear that in mind. You know, if that bothers you, maybe you should be more team Instant Pot. It's just kind of up to you. So shall I switch the camera around and you can just see, and I'll walk you over to it and you can see for yourself. So here we go. So it's got its air fry basket in it right now. So you're ready just for how dirty it is. Well, not dirty, it's scratched, but it looks ugly. Look at that, how ugly it looks. It's like it's lost its coating, but it's still not having any problems going to pressure. You know, so that's fair enough. So that was that one. So let me walk you across and let me find, it's somewhere in my kitchen, my actual proper Instant Pot, because that one's had just as much use, is just as old, and I can show you the difference. Bearing in mind I've used the same things in both, and that's what that one looks like. Totally different, isn't it? You know, so if you are wondering if it's you, if it's all your fault that it's scratched, then just note it's a common thing. It's not you, it's the machine. So just bear that in mind when you are using one of those, that they just scratch so easily. And of course, comment and let me know how you're getting on with yours. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel where we're sharing our number one thing so that we can help you learn how to use your kitchen gadgets better without information overload. Thanks so much for listening, and you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, and of course Instagram. And you know, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, or why not head over to kitchengadgetsclub.com foodie.com/newsletter and join our weekly newsletter where we go into detail about all our favourite kitchen gadget recipes, tips, tricks and resources. And a ciao for now.